Okay, so these have dried now. So I've already smoothed that one a little bit. Just need to do this one. So I'm actually just going to scrape across this just to remove any excess, smooth that down. Same with this at the front here. The edging that we've got from that, continue that at the edge. There we go. The other one's pretty similar. Now we can actually make the seat itself. So I think we're going to start with putting the rear on. I say rear, the bottom of the seat. It seems like quite a nice solid attachment. And we're going to bring in this piece. We have quite a nice little seat. It's just a shame we had to do that filling to get to that point. I've also drilled in 2 holes for the back piece armour. Just pops onto there. Go ahead and get that on. And then I went ahead and looked at how this attaches. So basically, I've also trimmed it down a little bit because fit, as you saw before, wasn't great. So I think it goes with the little tab down into that piece, which gives it, makes it more or less not quite level with the top there. And that seems to be in the correct place from the photos that I've seen. So there we go. So that back piece and armour. Another little sub-assembly. Much like the Airfix 1/24 scale Spitfire, I do like how this all kind of comes into sub-assemblies. Just notice there's a little bit of flash edging on there. Straighten that off. So this has dried okay. This is not a great fit. It really isn't. It's, you know, I have checked it in the fuselage, and it's where it's supposed to be. It's just a little bit woolly. Now that does allow us to put this piece on, so that is quite nice. The way that attaches, quite like that. The firewall bulkhead to the engine. I'm going to glue liberally. And then the next piece is quite interesting. You have to put this through here. So you've got the centerpiece goes through there, these two come back, and then these two little tabs underneath, these two, see these two little recesses there, it sort of hinges back on there, those two go in, and then this comes up into that bulkhead. So it's quite an interesting way of doing it. Not bad. But certainly requiring a little bit of dexterity, I would say. As you can see, by the way, I'm failing. Oh. Cemented that wall. And then these pieces just need to be, make sure that they are engaged. It's quite easy, as you can see, to disengage them. And then once those are in position, you can also glue it against the frame either side. So this is a nice assembly. I like the way it's come together, but the fit on the pieces, the tolerance on them aren't really up to modern 21st century standards, I would say. The end result is looking good, but it's not been that easy to get to this, as you've seen. It's not that it hasn't been easy, it's just not quite what you'd expect, I guess. Okay. Control column is quite nice. Some quite nice detail on it. A little bit of seaming, which I've decided is what I'm going to call this. You can, of course, add more to this. This did have a couple of cables that came down. And then this will go in here. That bit is a bit vague. I will qualify that. That's very vague. Okay, so obviously it pops into that slot. I am not going to attach that at the moment. I'm going to paint that separately and then put it in afterwards. So we do have a couple more pieces here. Now we do have this piece, which I'm kind of a little bit of a quandary about. Is this, which does need quite a lot of cleanup, quite a lot of, again, that's seaming. Also where the attachment points. Come on. A little bit intrusive. But essentially this fits in somewhere down there. Okay, I think I need tweezers. This piece goes essentially, I think, down. It goes down there somewhere because it attaches. It attaches to the control column. Actually, to shave this control column slightly because I think that's what's skewing it when I put it in. So this control column goes like so, and then this piece here attaches to there in a kind of vague and unconvincing way. It comes in, so it goes somewhere down there. I presume it's on that bar, but again, it's not exactly clear from the instructions here. It just points down to there without really showing what there is. I mean, is that here? I think that's what it's meant to be. I think it's meant to go on there. Does that count really? It's too long. Does it fit on this? It's really a pain. You kind of got to work it out from distance. It's going to be from that. Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, that's kind of just between the two of these, right? It's just supposed to sit between those two. In which case, why didn't they make that whole piece cross and then you just put that piece on? That would have been better. And can't really tell from these pictures afterwards. So yeah, it looks like from this picture that is exactly what it's supposed to do. So that's a bit crap. I will say that is just a butt join of these two pieces against these edges. Which is pretty shocking. Crap, yeah. I don't even know how I make that better. You know? think I'm going to put it in place. So put cement on it. Give it a few moments. Let plastic kind of activate. Put it in. Yeah, not easy. That side isn't 100% flat. That's why. Okay. So it's sort of in there. So much to those. This control column goes in there. And this attaches to it here. I can leave that to dry in that position, and I can take that out. It should still be at the same angle we need it at. But that is kind of garbage for a modern kit in terms of how that fits. That is not what I expect. So, yeah. Disappointing again is the word, I think. Now we can look at, we sort of slide in the compass. Oh no, first of all, I have the rudders to do. Rudder pedals, I should say, not rudders. There's only one rudder on an aircraft. So we have this set of rudders, which are, again, a little crude for this scale. You may want to look at aftermarket here, or improving them with some scratch built items. So I'm just going to go to what the kit gives you. And then you get this nice little piece to put on the front. Star shaped adjustment piece. Not sure if there is a correct way for this, without checking references, but shows it with the point upwards, so that's how we will stick it on. obviously goes in that little hole. Well, it's not a full hole, it's a depression. And that should be relatively easy for us to put in, he says, without having tried it. And immediately fails. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. That does not want to go, does it? Hmm. Star actually goes away from us, so let's try that again. We can get it in position. It's a little better this time. Nicely in place with them pedals over the boards. That looks pretty good. It does build up to be a nice structure, but it's not, doesn't feel like a 2025 kit. It feels like an older build. Now this piece slides in over here. And that fits very nicely. And it also has the seat attached to it. So rather than try to slide this in and then put the seat on afterwards, which is what the instructions suggest, we're going to put the seat on there, paint all of that, and slide it in. I think that might be a better way to do it. Now, that attachment feels very good. Let's just check it. Okay, it's all pretty good. Next piece we have is this long pipe. Getting rid of those attachment points, making sure we've not got a proper seam there. This going between these two. Oh, there goes our instrument control rather. This goes into here and fits into that floor piece there. And it's good that it fits well, because if there were problems there, trying to rectify them at this stage would be an absolute nightmare. So the last piece is to do on here. This little sort of lever goes in here, which is a little tricky, and that kind of goes sort of down here. Of course, you can put it in basically any position with it being fixed the way it is. It's kind of quite nice the way that fits around there. That, obviously, aside from the compass that we're not putting on right now, is that whole assembly. So these pieces we will put over to spray. We've got the instrument panel. The instrument panel has individual decals as well as a whole sheet approach, just a single piece. We're going to go for the single piece, but we're going to put the gun sight on here as well. So this attaches through using this little tab here. So that just brings that up into position. This did need quite a lot of cleaning up. Showed it off camera. And then there's a transparent piece to go on that for the actual reflector piece of the sight. So we'll spray that because, of course, that's all black. So that'll be easier to do together.